So basically, the eye tracking in this headset, as it looks at your eyes and keeps track of where your eyes move around, is the closest thing that I've experienced to like magic.
But the first thing you have to do is calibrate your eyes and you're in. And this is where the magic happens.
Vision Pro is the best way to enjoy your favorite entertainment.
So let's address the elephant in the room. When you see this man, what do you really think he's watching? What do you really think he's recording? During the launch of the Vision Pro, Disney's CEO appeared and discussed about how Disney's content will be available on day one once the devices are being sold in the marketplace. But there's a hidden industry that is lurking around the surrounding that just can't wait for the Vision Pro to come out. So this industry is a highly addictive industry, and currently it already dictates for a large percentage of the amount of content across the world. With the launch of the Vision Pro, this highly addictive industry is only going to get more addictive, and more people will prefer to stay indoors and indulge in this form of content, because basically the Vision Pro is transcending the way we consume content from a 2D format to a 3D format. So every video niche ever produced in 2D will become reproduced again in 3D, all because of the new Vision Pros. From the beginning of time, men have always been interested in sharing visual content, and over the years, man's appetite for sharing these types of visual content has not changed, has not evolved. However, the format of delivering these types of visual content has consistently continued to change over the years. From stone tablets carvings to charcoal sketches to life-sized sculptures to the invention of color painting to cameras to pictures used for magazines and the adoption of the internet. And you begin to wonder, what is the single factor that has continued to motivate and evolve constant change in our invention of new tools and new technologies? It's likely that many of you will assume that this factor will be something logical, like, oh, man wants to have a better life experience, or man wants to live in a more comfortable environment. That's why we keep on evolving our technologies and we keep on adopting new ways. However, majority of the biggest technologies we are using today got adopted all because they make it easier, more convenient, and more efficient for early adopters, which are usually men, to share and view content of naked and attractive adult women. So let's go back a bit to the invention of VCRs, and before VCRs started to make its way into people's living rooms, people who desired to watch adult content had to go to all these shady theaters with a group of other shady men and uncomfortably watch this form of content at odd hours. So with the launch of the VCRs, the prospect of watching them in privacy of your own home created an early market for home video equipment technology. And even though the prices were extremely high, they provided early adopters a new form of consuming their desired content with privacy of their own homes. And many tech analysts of that time will agree that without creating an avenue for adult content to be consumed more easily and in a private environment, there's a large chance that the VCR might have never worked or gotten to mass market. And after VCRs came the early adoption of cable television subscriptions. Now, this as well increased the bar by providing an avenue for early adopters to have a wider range of variety of this type of content. And so many of them subscribed and paid the premium prices, because now they didn't need to rely on movie houses like Blockbusters where they could go and rent their adult content, and now they could easily just watch it whenever they want on cable TV. Amongst all forms of entertainment that exist, such as video games, watching movies, reading books, it seems consuming content where women are unclothed is the primary indicator to know if a new invention will be adopted by the majority of the market or not. Even if this product is a bit glitchy or expensive, early adopters do not mind. So long as it enhances their experience in consuming their type of content, they will buy it. And this now brings us to the Vision Pro by Apple. The Vision Pro by Apple seems to be a very expensive device, and many people are claiming that, oh, the industry is not ready for this, the industry is not ready for that. A lot of people are comparing the Vision Pro to the Oculus or many other VR devices out there. But the Vision Pro is not primarily a VR device. Unlike the Oculus that failed to bring early adopters closer to the type of content that they like, because in
instead it created a artificial environment, which is not the goal that these early adopters are looking for. These early adopters are trying to see a large number of adult women, real adult women, not CGI adult women. Those are not their primary motivators. So this is one of the primary reasons I think many people did not see the Oculus or any VR device as revolutionary, because it fails to achieve the inert demand that early adopters are always searching for. However, the Vision Pro is totally not like this. Just as you could see at WWDC, video content consumption will be one of the primary reasons people buy this device. Not only that, the ability to record in 3D is a major selling point for this device, which brings early adopters closer to their goal, because now for the first time ever, at the comfort of their home, they will be able to see as many three-dimensional women from across the world. So just a quick recap. Just as how the VCR replaced shady theaters, and then cable TV came and replaced the VCR, and then the internet, people adopted the internet and that replaced cable TV subscription, and then we noticed how smartphones were quickly adopted because it made it easier for people to consume content on the palm of their hand. It is now very likely that the Vision Pro will replace the iPhone. However, many people still believe that this is high speculation, and maybe the Vision Pro might just be a fourth device, just like the way we have the MacBook, iPhone, the iPad. The Vision Pro is likely to just be a fourth device, but to be honest, only time will tell.
Now, I'm not trying to paint a picture that this is a bad thing. However, this is an alarming thing because it will cause population collapse. Currently, people are heavily isolated by their mobile devices already.
And if we paid close attention to the video ads that they showed when the Vision Pro was launched, you will notice a common theme. Many of the people that were using these devices were isolated. So unlike television, where multiple people can watch a show or a TV series together, the Vision Pro encourages more isolation, just like we can see in all of these examples. Now, some of you might be thinking, I'm just being an alarmist or I'm just exaggerating. However, studies have been taken out and people have learned that having more people around them in their lives makes them live longer and more happier.
And that loneliness kills. It turns out that people who are more socially connected to family, to friends, to community are happier, they're physically healthier, and they live longer.
So this leads us to the next question. Why is Apple creating a product that will lead to population collapse? Should we say Apple is an evil company for primarily creating isolating products that make people want to use on their own and not want to share, that make people want to be alone, like the AirPods and your personal phone? All these products are isolating. And this is not a recent thing for Apple. Steve Jobs has always discussed creating isolating products.
Now, the fundamental problem here is that headphones are a miraculous thing. You put on a pair of headphones and you get the same experience you get with a great pair of speakers, right? There's no such thing as headphones for video, right? There's not something I can carry with me that I can put on and it gives me the same experience I get when I'm watching my 50-inch plasma display at home.
So this leads us to the next question, a bit like a chicken and egg question. Which came first? Was it because there was a high demand for isolating products whereby only you can enjoy by yourself without being affected? Or was it because Apple primarily focused on producing products that only people can enjoy when they use it primarily by themselves? I believe the answer lies in the fact that Apple is just a company, and just like every other company, they are going to focus primarily on what the customer wants. So Apple is focusing on producing isolating products because people in the modern day society are struggling to interact with one another within their environment. So instead, they will rather enter a virtual world to discover people just like them. And this is not new. When people join social media apps or Discord communities online, it's just reflecting the same thing. People are finding it more and more difficult to interact with the people within their environment. And now with the Apple Vision Pro, things are likely to get worse because people are not just avoiding the people in their environment, they're avoiding their whole environment. Many people are not comfortable with where they live, how they live, what they do for a living. They are always looking for an escape. It's no longer a pursuit of happiness, it's more like a pursuit for an escape. Whether it's in drugs, whether it's in your phone, some form of addiction, people are always trying to use it to escape. escape their present reality, which brings us to the real problem on ground. Why are people trying to escape their reality? And now that is a whole new picture of the social political climate we are living in right now, with the rising inflation and extremely expensive cost of living. People are looking for other means to exist and just avoid their day-to-day problems that they have to face. The real problem lies in finding ways we can address the real elephant in the room. And big tech companies actually have this solution, because big tech companies, they have the scale of economics advantage, which basically means if they wanted to build a house, the cost would be far less, because they can build 1 million houses at a far cheaper price than a single individual can just build one house. However, people's attention is focused on escape, distraction. So companies will only do what people want. And since people are looking for escape and distraction, companies will keep on inventing new ways to assist people escape. However, if the whole population of the world, or a large percentage of the population, can focus instead on building sustainable homes and solving the housing crisis for most people around the world, then you will see that companies as well will start to focus on finding solutions with technology, with whatever information and resources they have, to build more sustainable homes. So the problem lies within the large population of users. If more individuals came together and assisted one another to build homes for one another, for instance, imagine 20 people coming together to build 20 homes. Do you get, like, the cost of building that home will be next to zero, aside from resources that they might need, but the manpower cost and the labor, the technical know-how will be transferable amongst them. So if companies are able to see this kind of behavior, many of these tech companies want to replicate it in a large scale, and many of these tech companies want to pursue the right things that will benefit humanity. But if humanity is not focusing on the right things for its own benefits, many of these companies will not do that for humanity.